Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to Breakthrough to Success. Now, this is the third episode of the series, Caribbean Authors Who Motivate, Educate, and Empower. And this series is my way of paying tribute to the Caribbean community and our heritage as we continue to celebrate Black History Month. Now, I'm Amanda Edwin, host and owner of the Facebook page Breakthrough to Success, where I bring you the tips, the tools, and the strategies to break through those barriers that really stand in your way of personal achievement. And today I have as my guest a fellow Trinidadian, Djennicia A Francis. Djennicia is a teacher in Trinidad and Tobago and is now added author to her portfolio. This evening, she will share with us a little about her journey as a new Caribbean author and tell us about her book. So let's give a warm welcome to Djennicia A Francis, author of the book, children's book, In the Mirror. So hello, Djennicia.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
Welcome to Breakthrough to Success or Breaking Barriers. I'm so happy you said yes. And being a fellow Trinidadian and a fellow teacher in the Caribbean, I welcome you. Okay.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. A little bit about me. I did teach in the Caribbean in Trinidad and Tobago for 21 years in the elementary system in Arima. Where do you teach and what level?
Currently, I work with teenagers from grade 7 to 9, and that's because I work in a private school. So it doesn't go Form 1, Form 2, but it's the equivalent of Form 3, Form 5 speed.
Okay. Yeah. All righty. Excellent. So a little bit about your book. Now I have your book right here for everyone to see. It's called
In
the Mirror.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
I loved it. It's all about positive affirmations for children. I really loved it. I mean, I met you through your Instagram live with Joshua some time ago. I looked at the Instagram live and I said, oh, this person looks amazing to talk to. And I went right away and I bought the book. Okay. And I read it, loved it. I love the concept behind the book. And that's why I have you here tonight, because my whole project through Breakthrough to Success is about empowerment. And it's about affirmations, and it's about education and motivating people. And this book speaks perfectly to that. Even though it's a children's book, I think we have to start with children, right?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about what inspired you to write In the Mirror.
So for me, well, right now I work with teenagers. So when I first started off teaching, I worked with children on a lower level. So I worked with special needs children. I worked with children 5 to 6. Then as I started going along the chain, I basically worked with children in most age groups at this point. And what I found interesting is that as children get older, I see more self-esteem issues. I see more self-love issues. I see a lot of that boldness and creativity and willingness to try that they have in their earlier ages fade away as they become more conscious of the fact that people are looking at them.
Okay.
Right. And along the way, what I recognize is that what we teach children, what's their foundation, tends to stay with them as they grow older. So I figured, and it honestly came to me while I was in prayer, that if you teach children positive mental health practices from a younger age, not just make them feel good in a moment, but give them tools that they can practice and then use as they get older, then that will become something that's more ingrained in them, so that when they become adolescents and realize that people are looking at them, they still have tools to pull from. They know about their affirmations, and well, there are other tools that are coming along the way. But for right now, I started with that. So you're in a difficult situation and you're getting negative self-talk, but now you have the information necessary to take yourself out of that. And we can use that throughout every level of our lives. It's just necessary for us to have it from a young age to know that we have access to it.
That's very true. Now, during the process of writing in the mirror, what was something you learned about yourself?
I learned that I think my come to Jesus wasn't just in writing the story. It came more when I was creating the character of like what I want Isabel to look like. I learned that I too really needed the kind of representation that Isabel is. And it's one of those things I started noticing only in my older years, how little I saw persons that look like myself, that look like her, represented in mainstream media. And that, yes, that does include books and, yeah, children's books. So it hit me just how much it mattered to me, because when I was working with my illustrator and we were having some difficulties at the time getting the character right, it just meant the world to me. I kept saying, hey, no, we need to get this complexion. Her hair needs to be this way, and so on and so forth. And I had to, of course, introspect. Why does that matter so much to me? And it's because I too, even as an adult, really needed to see that representation. So I can only imagine for children growing up out there who simply never see themselves represented in that positive light.
Amazing. Now, talking about the illustrator, you just mentioned the illustrator in terms of the illustrator helping you to bring Isabel to life, what you wanted Isabel to look like. So the illustrator is very important. So tell me a little bit about your illustrator and how they helped you bring that, that image that you wanted.
My illustrator is a Ukrainian woman named Valeria Leonova. So yes, all the way to the Ukraine. I spent a long time looking for the right illustrator. And at first, what caught me with her work was that she captured whimsy perfectly. I'm a whimsical soul. Give me magic, give me fairies, I'm there. And she captured whimsy so perfectly that I reached out to her. And then, of course, price was a thing, because one of the things that I did not know was how expensive an illustrator was.
Okay.
Everybody's prices in US. Jesus help my Trinidadian dollars. So that was a part of the journey. So she was, one, willing to work with my budget. Two, she was so great at capturing whimsy. And three, she was so patient. So I would tell her what I want, and even if she didn't completely understand, we would pull pictures from online to get different notions. So in Ukraine, the Ukraine doesn't have too many people that looks like us from the Caribbean, right? It's the Ukraine. So we had to find a way to break those cultural differences in a way that allowed for the character I wanted to see to come to life. But what I loved is that she was so very willing and patient and interested. And then it was my first book, so I'm freaking out every 2-3 seconds, right? But she was willing to listen to me freak out. She took all the random clip arts that I might have pulled, took my descriptions from Jesus himself, and was able to bring this perfect little girl to life in front of my eyes. And I was squealing when I saw her finally come to life.
No, I love the images. I think it brought out exactly what you wanted and portrayed Isabel as you imagined she would look like.
Yes.
Now, what is your main, now I know the book is about affirmations, but tell me, what is your main message? I want to hear it from you. What is your main message in the book?
The message in the book is a message of understanding that you have the power to love you. In that, I mean, we affirm every day, all the time. People just don't know that we do. And there is such a thing as negative affirmations. So the example I would always use is a habit we have here in the Caribbean. You do something that may not have been the most intelligent. Instead of saying that wasn't smart, you say, oh gosh, I do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what you're doing is negatively affirming yourself.
Negative self-talk. Correct.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
negative self-talk. And we do it a lot. The problem with that is that we as adults do it. Of course, children are going to pick it up and do it. And now that everybody is doing it, what we're doing is teaching ourselves how to think about ourselves. So you're thinking now that you're stupid instead of isolating it into that wasn't the smartest decision I ever made. You are instead saying, I am not the smartest person. And that is dangerous because when you say something enough to yourself, you believe it.
So what you're saying is that they're not looking at the action as being a negative thing. They're looking at themselves as being negative.
As being the negative thing, yes. And we do it all the time. That is what negative self-talk is, telling ourselves negative things. What I really wanted children to learn is that their words have power. So that's why when you look at the images, it is in front of the mirror. But in this picture, she's saying to herself, I am a princess, beautiful and kind. So the message is what you say is what you will see. So what she's saying about herself is what she sees in the mirror. And then what you see is who you will be. Because what you tell yourself you are, what you believe you are, is what you'll carry about yourself as. And a child that knows he is intelligent is more willing to try academically. A child that knows that they are talented is more willing to explore things within the performing arts, or just arts in general. A child that knows that they are beautiful, that they are capable when they come across difficult situations or difficult people, because we all come across different people, it doesn't affect their self-esteem because they know that person's word is not where the power lies. It lies in their words and what they choose to say, thus see, thus believe about themselves.
That is very true. Because, I mean, having taught children myself for 21 years, I see it. I saw it a lot. And I see it in adults now because I teach adults right now. And I see it in them too, where they, there's a negative self-talk. Oh, I can't do this. I won't be able to do that. And I have to be the one. I mean, I tell them constantly, no, you can. You need to change how you think.
Yes.
You know, you need to change the way you say things to yourself. And even with the children that I taught, it's the same thing. And one thing I used to do with them that worked really well was I would sit with them in the morning and we would do visualizations, right? That really helped. It was an amazing, experience for them when they did it. And they were young. I did it with 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds. And taught them how to do it, right? And every day we do, the positive talk and positive thinking, and ingrain in them that you can do whatever you put your mind to.
Yes.
Okay. So that's very powerful in truth, indeed. Now, Isabel Pink is the main character. So why did you choose Isabel?
I chose Isabel because representation matters. So in the time that I was writing the book, in this space within my nation's existence, you find that racism is popping its ugly little head back up, right? Now, I love my people. Trinidad and Tobago is multicultural, multi-ethnic. We are that melting pot where every creed and race should be able to find an equal place. Right. But though we know racism and colorism exists, now, because of social media, you're seeing it, you're hearing these conversations, it's in your face every day. And we, people who look like me, have been called some things recently. And then I realized it's not just here, it's across the globe. You see what's happening in places like America. You hear that colorism exists all the way in India. Colorism even exists in Africa. So the point is, we really need to get to a place where we normalize just being Black. Right? And by normalizing that, I mean, right now, when you see someone of African descent represented in mainstream media, If it's a woman, dark skin like myself with her natural hair, trust me, she is beating her mouth, snapping her fingers. She has 6, 9, 20 children and has absolutely no form of behavior. We need to change those stereotypes because there are people out here believing it. We hear it coming out in the races. We hear them talking about baby daddies, and the stereotypes hurt. And the fact is, if we want to change those stereotypes, we need to put more positive messages out there. Isabel Inc. to me represents what we want our young Black girls to see ourselves as. And it's what we want other people, other children to see us as well. Inspirational, intelligent, endearing, powerful, because she is a human being. And the more that we put persons of varying ethnicities in just regular spaces, to me, the better hope we have of raising a generation that's less toxic than the one we currently have.
Yep, because when it starts with them. It's when it starts with the young ones.
Yes, it is, because a lot of the old ones, it's quite ingrained in them. And I would say I personally don't have the patience to take that out of your mind. Let me work with my babies and help them be better. Because one of the major things that I did as well was meet her best friend, a young man of East Indian descent. Because the point is, representation matters across the board. And what children need to see is children interacting with other children. Not just children that look like you, not just children from the same cultural, socio-economic, whatever backgrounds as you, but just operating with children, seeing them and recognizing that this is another human being. Once we could normalize that concept, I really see us going a long way as it pertains to eliminating racism and colorism.
I agree. And that reminds me, like last week's author, Cheryl, her book is called Messi, Marvin and Friends. And this very same concept of having children of different ethnicities being friends. So they all look different. They all, but they are friends, and they don't have the judgmental characters that adults would have.
Of course not. Thank God. Children are the purest thing that the Lord ever created.
They are. And they get corrupted along the way, unfortunately. But when they have people like you and others just trying to motivate them and keep them positive and giving them the positive affirmations that they need to hopefully change society as we go. That's what we can do to change what's happening right now. Our reality of the whole racism and the colorism as you talk about it. Right. So I've got to a point now where I would like you to read a part of In the Mirror as you would want us to read it. Okay. I want to hear your voice in this.
Oh, yay. Let me prepare myself. How did I not choose which part I wanted to read? So now I'm like, oh my gosh, everywhere is awesome.
It is.
I really am. Anywhere. I am a full hardback child, so I'll just read from the beginning. All right. Isabel Inc., Sweet Angel, is the youngest and most adorable Inc. family member. She knows that her words can change her reality. What do you see in the mirror, Flapper? Little Isabel asked her dog. Woof, woof, Flapper barked. Isabel bent down lovingly. I know, she responded, petting Flapper on the head. You see the floppiest, flappiest papa in the world. Woof, Flapper barked happily. So this is Isabel and her precious puppy Flapper. Because puppies are awesome.
They are. Thank you.
What do I see?
Oh, you're reading it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I will just read up to here. What do I see, you ask? I see a princess, beautiful and kind. Yep. I am beautiful and I am kind. With a skip and a hop, young Isabel Inc. waved goodbye. Bye-bye, Flapper. Bye, Mom. Bye, Dad. I'm off to get cash and go to school. Bye, Izzy. Her parents waved in reply. And this is Isabel and Flapper both seeing themselves as royalty.
I love I really do love the imaging in the book. I like when they get to Taj. Is it Taj is his name? Yes, her friend
Yes,
Taj, a little East Indian boy. And of course, he saw himself as being he wasn't happy with himself.
yes.
And here comes Izzy hopping along to tell him, nope, you need to change how you see yourself. You see yourself as strong. You see yourself as as a Superman.
Yes.
So yes. And that helped him to change how he thought about himself. So those are the things I loved about what you did in the book and how children can relate to this when they read it. Amazing. And I noticed in the back where you have activities at the back of the book as well. You have the Color Me Whimsy.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have what parents and teachers can do with the children with regard to the affirmations and how they can help them, I guess, create affirmations.
Definitely.
Yes. Like saying, I am smart.
Yes, in and of itself, the book is a teaching moment. So yes, it's a whimsical story because I am whimsy, right? That's just who I am. But I want children, parents, and teachers to actually make this a part of their daily lives. So when you have this book, yes, you read the story, yes, you enjoy the story, but I implore you, actually use the affirmations, do the activities within the classroom settings. Have your children say affirmations daily. Have your children be kinder to other persons because that too is affirming them. Parents, do the affirmations with your children. I don't think people notice just how much children mirror us. So if they see you doing it, they're more likely to do it. So these are activities that would be great for family settings, classroom settings, and even for the children to do on their own.
And I'm glad that, I hope the teachers in Trinidad and Tobago and whoever else is watching this and who they're I'm hoping it gets to a lot of teachers because I will be posting it on Instagram as well for IGTV. And there are lots of teachers in my IG following. So hopefully they get to look at it and understand, what they should be doing with their own children in the classrooms daily.
Yes.
Now, do you plan to write any other children's books?
Many, 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 many. I already have a list of books that I would like to get done, some of which the stories are already written. My goal is to teach children to master their minds so they can master their realities. So every one of my books is going to teach a mental health practice. Yes, that is the train. So I have books galore, plans, stories already written and raring and ready to go.
Well, I'll be following that to see what you're coming out with. Just keep me in the loop as to what you have coming up, when they're published. Because I would really want to be a part to know what they are and probably even get them. I've started a library with Caribbean authors, so I'm adding to my library. Okay.
I feel like saying whoop whoop.
Now, Djennicia, are there any parting words you want to share with everyone?
My parting words today, I try to change them up every time, but this time I would say be mindful of your thoughts. Your thoughts, they vibrate. What you think about yourself, they genuinely affect what you're willing to try. And I say what you're willing to try because if you start off believing that you cannot, you will not try. And if you do try, it will not be your best try. We don't give our very best when we think it's a lost cause. So when I say be mindful of your thoughts, approach every situation, approach every day with the mindset that I am in control. I tell myself what I want to do. I tell myself what I'm capable of accomplishing. I decide how I feel about myself. And if we really want to help our children be better than us, we have to start the journey of being better. So in this situation, I'm speaking to the parents, I'm speaking to the teachers, I'm speaking to the aunts, uncles, and grandparents. Children do what they see. Environment matters. So on our journey to help them be better, understand that that requires better of us. So take control of your thoughts and use that power that you have to affect change.
Very powerful. Very, very powerful indeed. Thank you so much, Djennicia. And before we go, is your book is only available on Amazon right now?
No, it is not. You see, it's available on Amazon if you are outside of Trinidad. If you're within Trinidad and Tobago, you can contact me directly and I can get the book to you within the space. However, right now, if you're outside of Trinidad, yes, it is only available on Amazon, but it's available in both paperback and ebook format. And soon it will be on draft to digital in ebook format there as well.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I got mine on Amazon. So it wasn't difficult at all. Just went on there, clicked on it. And as I told you, I added the book to Goodreads because I did a review for you. And I put it on Goodreads and on my bookshelf. So it's there as well. If anybody goes on there, they would see under my name, they would see it.
Please review it on Amazon as well. I am trying to get.
I think I did. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go check back. It didn't give me any notifications about reviews, but I shall go on journey.
I'll check it again. And before we leave, I want to read part of your book, which is the dedication, because when I read it, I said, I have to close off with this. I'm going to read that right now. So to every adult that listens to the whispers of your past self, seeking the wisdom you now have, to every child filled with the magic and wonder crystallized in the presence of youth, most definitely to every parent and educator, counselor and guardian, who cherishes whimsy and lassos as extraordinary gifts to teach and encourage. This book is for you. Use your imagination to birth words that inspire, enlighten, and affect change. Use this book and all its tenets to teach our children to master their minds so they can master their realities. More so, remember that what we speak today gives us a sneak peek into our tomorrow. Read well and speak better. Thank you, Djennicia. And thank you for coming. And that pretty much brings us to the end of this evening's episode of Caribbean Authors Who Motivate, Educate, and Inspire. So thank you once again, and tune in next week for episode number 4.
Am I allowed to throw in a shameless plug before I go?
Sure, go right ahead.
Guys, I invite you all to check out my YouTube channel. It's called Wonky Wacky Words, and each week I introduce you to a wonky, wacky, fun to say word that actually exists. So check it out. It is for children. It's very educational, but totally fun because I'm fun. Wonky Wacky Words on YouTube.
Thank you. All right. So take care and good night.
Night, night. Thanks for having me.